All right, so let's start with some breaking news that has just come in where Ukraine is struck again, and this time it is beneath the waves. Now, Kiev's security service detonated about a ton of explosives under the Crimean bridge, targeting Russia's prized supply line. Now, the underwater attack marks a new escalation in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, where Ukraine's security service, or the SBU, has unleashed a meticulously planned underwater strike on the Crimean bridge, detonating about 1,100 kilograms of explosives and blasting the bridge's submerged pillars. Now, the operation, which Kiev says took months in the making and was meticulously planned. Now, this is not the first time that the Crimean bridge has been attacked. Previous blows came in 2022 and 2023. But this underwater operation marks a very calculated shift in Ukraine's asymmetric warfare. Precision sabotage that strikes deep at Russia's military logistics. Now, the bridge, which is a key artery for moving troops and supplies into southern Ukraine. The timing of this latest attack is no accident. The strike comes just days after Ukraine's daring air raid on Russia's fleet of nuclear-capable strategic bombers that is now signaling Kiev's escalating resolve in disrupting Russian logistics and also projecting power deep inside enemy-held territory. The Russian authorities have not commented so far. On Sunday, Kiev said that it had destroyed Russian bombers worth billions of dollars in a large-scale drone assault on enemy soil as it is geared up for talks with Moscow to explore prospects for a ceasefire. Now, in a spectacular claim, Ukraine has said that it damaged $7 billion worth of Russian aircraft that were parked at 4 air bases, thousands of kilometers away, with unverified video footage showing aircraft engulfed in flames and black smoke. And these, of course, are the images of the Kerch Bridge being blown up, at least one of the pillars of the Kerch Bridge. And according to reports that are coming in, about 1,100 kilograms of explosives were strapped onto this bridge, onto the pillar of this bridge, and then it was blown up. Remember, this is not the first time that the Kerch Bridge, which links the Russian mainland with the Crimean Peninsula, has been attacked. There have been attacks by the Ukrainians before as well. This is one of Russia's biggest prized possessions, which connects the Russian mainland to Crimea that was occupied by the Russians in 2014.
Sanctions against Russia are necessary. It's important to seriously limit Russia's oil trade and its use of tankers. Sanctions, including secondary ones, tariffs and price caps, can work and push Russia toward peace. Without pressure, Putin will just keep playing games with everyone who wants this war to end.
केवी भागे थे बोस केवी भागे थे जिसमें से दो पकड़ के ले आए ये रोड का माहौल है ये मुकम्मल रोड पर सन्नाटा छा गया। पुलिस वाले केजी की तलाश में बाहर निकले। फायरिंग की आवाज़ें सुन सकते हैं आप लोग। वो एक केजी को पकड़ के लेके जा रहा है पुलिस वाला।
लोग पहुंचे जो हाथ लग जाए उठाओ। डीआईजी वाले भेज रहा हूं। ये डीआईजी के नूर को बता, कोई एक आध एरिया वहां पे बंदे लेके जाएं। जितने
Just days after the UN's nuclear watchdog sounded the alarm over Tehran's ongoing production of highly enriched uranium, Egypt's foreign minister calls for calm and negotiations as Israel and the US accuse Iran of trying to build nuclear weapons, an accusation Tehran denies.
Hopefully with the new post he has to learn a lot of
المنطقة يكفي ما بها من أزمات ويكفي ما بها من تحديات.
The region has enough crises and enough security challenges. Therefore, we completely reject any escalation and any incitement to the military option.
هذا الملف ومن ثم نحن نرفض تماما أي تصعيد وأي تحريض على.
We emphasize once again the importance of a peaceful solution and the importance of not escalating in the region to avoid undesirable consequences
التصعيد في المنطقة تجنبا لما لا
and to avoid entering into a prolonged state of chaos from which no one will escape.
من الفوضى لن ينجو منها أحد.
It's a sentiment echoed by the head of the UN's nuclear watchdog.
We know that there is an escalating tension here. On Saturday, I issued a comprehensive report detailing some of the areas where there's a need to get more transparency, but in parallel with that, and very importantly, there is a negotiation, you mentioned that, between the United States and Iran, which deserves all our support. This is very important.
The IAEA says Iran's enriched uranium stock has jumped by nearly 50%.
Microsoft founder Bill Gates says he plans to spend most of his $200 billion fortune on improving health and education services across Africa. He made the announcement on Monday in an address at the African Union headquarters in the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa. Gates said that unleashing human potential by improving health and education should put every country in Africa on a path to prosperity. Last month, the 69-year-old announced that he would give away 99% of his vast fortune by 2045, when the Gates Foundation plans to end its operations. Writing in a blog post last month, he said that people will say a lot of things about him when he dies, but that he was determined that he died rich would not be one of them. Gates also urged the continent's young innovators to think about how to use artificial intelligence to improve healthcare.
A mass die-off of fishes in Iraq's marshes is fueling speculation amongst the Iraqi authorities, where the investigating bodies are scrambling to identify the probable cause of this rarely witnessed phenomenon. Well, one possible reason could, of course, be oxygen depletion. Another could be contamination by hazardous chemicals. Take a look.
massive cloud of dust from the Sahara Desert settled over the Caribbean on Monday as it made its way from Africa to the United States. In Puerto Rico, the dust concentration was the highest recorded this year and unleashed sneezes, coughs and watery eyes across the island. Local forecasters warned that people with allergies or asthma should stay inside or wear face masks when they went outdoors. This looks very, very strong, but it doesn't affect me because I've already been here for 2 years, working on this corner, and it's always the same. A lot of dust, a lot of dust. You have to deal with it. Conditions were similar in Barbados, with the dust blocking out sunlight and covering cars. The dry and dusty air forms over the Sahara Desert and moves west across the Atlantic between April and October. June and July usually have the highest dust concentration.
The fact that the dust travels all the way here from Africa and affects us so heavily is absolutely crazy because the distance between Barbados and Africa is vast.
The dust cloud is expected to hit the U.S. states of Florida, Louisiana, Alabama and Mississippi later this week.
Been yet more earthquakes in the eastern Mediterranean. In the early hours of Tuesday morning, a quake with magnitude 5.8 struck just south of the Turkish resort of Marmaris. It was also felt across the water at the Greek island of Rhodes. Tragically, it's said that a 14-year-old girl has died after a panic attack that was caused by the earthquake. There was moderate shaking, according to the US Geological Survey. Having been in a couple of earthquakes on Greek islands, I can confirm they are very, very disconcerting. TUI, the biggest holiday company in Europe, is telling holidaymakers, remain calm and follow any safety instructions provided by your accommodation or local officials. A lot of people who have got holidays booked in southern Turkey or maybe the Greek island of Rhodes or elsewhere in the region may be thinking, well, what do we do? And the answer is continue as normal. I can't see any likelihood that the holiday companies will allow people to cancel their trips without triggering the usual cancellation penalties. It is possible that they may, subject to availability, allow you to move your holiday to somewhere else. But to put things into perspective, quakes like this are far from unknown. It's well worth educating yourself. You can find details online at The Independent about how to protect yourself in the event of an earthquake, but almost always these are relatively low intensity, they are disconcerting, but there is no need to take further action.
And still talking about earthquakes, a 5.8 magnitude earthquake struck the Marmaris region of southwestern Turkey, leaving one teenager dead and dozens of others injured. The quake occurred around 2 a.m. local time, about 10 kilometers off the coast near Marmaris, and was felt across the region, including parts of Greece and even as far as Egypt. Turkish Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya took to social media and said that a 14-year-old died in the town of Fethiye after suffering a panic attack during the tremor. Around 70 people were injured, many while trying to flee buildings in fear. Some jumped from balconies or windows in a rush to escape. Fortunately, there have been no reports of serious structural damage in residential areas, though emergency services continue to monitor the situation. The region, which includes popular coastal towns like Marmaris, Bodrum and Fethiye, is a major destination for both domestic and international tourists, and Turkish officials are urging calm while remaining on alert for possible aftershocks.